Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Wednesday, April 30th, 8:01 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, if you want to get technical. We're back for another episode of the Golden V podcast with Brett Mydske, Vancouver Warriors captain, previewing, amongst other things, this semifinal series in the NLL playoffs against the Buffalo Bandits, which starts this Friday in Buffalo. And so, Brett, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So coming to us live from your car so you can get some quiet when your kids go to bed. Dedication, man. Teammate of the year, right? Like we said last week.
Yeah.
Teammate of the year. Anyway, let's have a little fun too. But yeah, I mean, I was trying to think of all the technical research I always do, stats, looking at those highlights from the Buffalo Bandits San Diego Seals game where you win a playoff game 5-4, which, like, I don't know, that's like a first half score in lacrosse to me, or maybe even a first quarter score. Let's talk a little bit about that, because I was trying not to trot out all the sports cliches that always gets trotted out when you got a 4th seed in the playoffs and I don't want to say the darlings of the NLL, but sort of like the creme de la creme of what this Buffalo team has done in the last few seasons, right? Not to mention who their coach is and what he did as a player before he was ever a coach, right? So I don't know if you guys are underdogs. I know you guys probably don't care based on the way Kurt sort of talks about what you guys do, your mentality this season. So let's just dive right into it. What are your thoughts heading into this game?
It's going to be good. Tough matchup, obviously. Like you said, Buffalo's been the number one team for the last few years. They've got a solid team I mean, they've got probably the best goalie ever play the game. Or I shouldn't even say probably, he is the best goalie ever play the game. They've got the number one. Yeah, they got the number one righty, number one lefty on offense. They've got a very deep offense, and they got very big physical defenders on their team. They push well in transition. So, I mean, that's a recipe for a very good team. So, but what's great about our team is I think we're playing our best lacrosse.
I think the best lacrosse you guys have ever played that I've seen. Certainly the time at Rogers Arena. I mean, there were some bright spots even last season, right? When you guys turned things around, but this is just next level for you guys. And I think it's great on so many levels.
And that's a kind of recipe for a good playoff run is you've got to be playing your best lacrosse at the end of the season. Right. So we're excited, we're confident, and we're ready for the task.
I just want to share something here as we keep chatting, so people can see this. I mean, leading by example, obviously coming to you guys in that big trade. We talked about that earlier in the season when we previewed that game. I think it was a game against Albany, right? Because Jonathan Pleshko came back to play against us. But there you go. For all I'm not trying to take anything away ever from Matt Vince, but there is Christian Del Bianco since joining the Warriors. So in the past, I don't know if you guys would have been able to match somebody like him, but now with Christian and net playing the way he is, I don't want to say it's even, but it's certainly a lot closer than it's been in the past.
Oh, absolutely. He's, I mean, we knew what we were getting when he came over, and he's even exceeded expectations. We obviously 7-0 with him in the lineup. We lost a lot of 1 or 2 goal games early in the year, and now we're on the other side of things too. And it seems like our offense is coming alive. I think if you look at the stats in the first half compared to the second half of the season, we're at least 3 goals ahead from where we were before. And having him in our defense and with our offense firing on all cylinders, and we've got a good transition game. So right now we're playing like a very complete lacrosse team.
I think you are, and I think let's dive into that a little bit more, both sides, to share some stats here and pulling these off from TyMarrowLacrosse.com. Obviously, Ty Merrow, I chatted with him once, didn't get him on the podcast, but chatted with him a few months ago and really got to understand how he does his stats. But borrowing some of Ty's stats here while I share some stuff in the chat, because it's important to have that as well, right? And I mean, just sharing Christian's numbers, sharing Ty's sort of breakdown on NL team stats for goalies. But let's keep moving on this Buffalo team too, because just looked at a tweet from Adam Levi a little while ago, searching through Twitter for the Buffalo Bandits. But I mean, Dane Smith, right? 132. 134 points. And here it says 102, but quibbling over one assist, it's 103. So sets a record for the fourth year in a row for assists. Obviously, a formidable opponent in a guy like Dane Smith.
Yeah, he's I mean, like you said, he's just keeps breaking his own record year after
Yeah,
year, his assist
prolific.
record. He's very big, he's fast, he's dynamic. I mean, he demands so much attention off ball, and then if you slide to him too
Right.
early, I mean, how many assists did he have? 103 assists this year, 104.
Yeah, it says
So
102 here when I pulled it. Sorry,
102.
from yeah, but then I saw something on Twitter. It was 103 anyway. He basically broke his own record. But let's not quibble too much over that, because that's not really what we're really here to talk about. Because what's really important to talk about is how you guys are going to handle Buffalo. But what's Buffalo doing on the floor that people should be looking for?
What are they? I mean, they've got a very balanced left and right side. Like you said, they got Dane Smith and Josh Byrne on each side that demands a lot of respect off ball. So, and they love swinging the ball to each other. So when the defense is looking to help and slide, they're looking for one another on the back door. And they've also got a very deep offense too, that like to
Right.
crash and bang. They're very good in the two-man game. They've got a lot of one-on-one offensive players. So, yeah, I think they're probably the best offense in the league.
Yeah, because I was just looking at that too from Ty's site, and just trying to find some other stats. And he's got just looking at Buffalo here, just pulling some stuff down. I had them at, and I'll just drop these in the chat too. We could chat about these. Bandits, 13.4 goals per game, goals for per game, 10.8 goals against a game. Vancouver, almost 3 goals less, or 2.5 goals less, but a full goal and a bit less on defense. So who's going to win the battle, right? Because you guys are a full goal less on defense than Buffalo is.
Yeah, and I think those numbers are a little they're based off kind of our first half of the season too, right? So
Right.
our
Okay.
offense is definitely started finding the back of the net a lot more often now. So like I said, we started peaking at the right time. We're playing our best lacrosse now. So our offense, I mean, you look at the numbers in the last 7 games, our offense
Right.
is one of the best in the league too right now. So it's
Yeah.
going to be a tough battle.
Well, it is going to be a tough battle, and let's get into that a little bit too, because it's not a one-game, one-off quarterfinal playoff. This is a 3-game series, right? So you go into Buffalo on Friday night. You got Sunday at home in Vancouver for a semifinal playoff game, which is just, I mean, that's so awesome on so many levels. I've been following you guys, even since before you moved to Rogers Arena last season with the Stealth, right? I know that was before you were here. I've seen all the challenges and tough times, and at Rogers Arena. The pandemic missing season, and then you guys coming back, and then to be at this point, we're hosting a semifinal playoff game.
Yeah, it's pretty special. I mean, it was massive for the organization in the province of BC to have that first home playoff game at home, and uh, fortunate enough to get the win against Rochester. So, we're looking forward to coming back in front of the home crowd, because they're definitely a pleasure to play in front. We get behind their energy, and they help us limit other teams' runs. So anytime we get to play in front of our fans, it's truly special.
Yeah, I was just looking at NLL chatter here too. There's some interesting stuff. Quarterfinal playoff breakdown on NLL chatter, and I'm actually trying to remember whose site this is. This is actually probably Graham Parrow's site, but yes, it is Graham Parrow's site. So sharing some stuff that Graham had listed too on the NLL quarterfinal matchup, because on Graham's site he had some really interesting breakdowns of all the playoff games. Is going to drop his site here in the chat, and he had some stuff about Keegan that I found really interesting too, just because of the way Keegan stepped up in that game against Rochester.
I know, first playoff game of his career too, and I mean
Yep.
we know the type of player he is. He's our best offensive player, and you look at the second half of the season he's put on. That's MVP caliber season he's had so far. So just he's just so clutch. I mean, look at some of those goals. He's an
Yeah.
accurate
Yeah.
shooter. He's not afraid to go in the middle. He's good in the 2-man game. Great on special teams. So it's definitely nice to see him shine on the biggest stage.
And there's something else I was thinking about too. I was going to ask you about. I was thinking about my own life, talking about Kurt's thing about the next 5 minutes and not looking at the standings and not looking at the stats. And I wonder for you guys too, if you're comfortable sharing this. Like for me, you guys have had a successful season. What you've done to date, like even if you didn't beat Rochester, right? I mean, that's still something to build on. That regular season record, getting Del Bianco, doing what you did, and then to win that game against Rochester at home, and then to be hosting a semifinal game. I don't think for you guys it's like you're just happy to be here anymore.
Absolutely not.
There's a real
Everybody on
sense
it.
of belief. Sorry, go ahead. Go
Uh,
ahead.
no, absolutely. There's definitely a sense of belief. Everybody on the team and the entire organization knows what we're capable of, right?
Yeah.
And we're not satisfied just making playoffs, and never felt that way when we clinched playoffs. We always
Hmm.
always wanted one more, one more, one more, right? So we're our first goal, obviously. I mean, you ask anybody in the league, the number one goal in the league is to hoist the trophy over your head at the end of the season. But it's easy to say that. But in order to get that way, there's you've got to set little goals along the way, like
Yeah, I think
midway
so.
season goals. No, I mean, in order to win a championship, you got to make playoffs, right? So that should be number one. One goal is make playoffs. Once you get it from playoffs, reset, and then you go from there. And then to win the quarters, then win game one in Buffalo, and don't even think about game two back at home.
Yeah.
All your energy and focus and stuff like that's just got to be one game at a time.
Yeah, I mean it has to be, right? It's and like I said, it's different because it's a 3-game series. So, there's opportunity there to have it go 3 games, and then the final is three games also, correct?
Yeah,
Potentially.
uh, it should be the same format as this round here. Because I'm
Hmm.
not too sure how it works out. Because I know
Sure, we'll look it up.
Saskatchewan, they're the higher seed, yet they're on the road the first game. So maybe whoever the higher seed gets to decide if they want game one or
Yeah, because I guess you
game
guys are
one
the
and three or
lowest seed
game.
out of you guys would be the lowest seed out of 4, and then Halifax beat Calgary, and then I'm just looking here. Oh no, I'm just trying to see because you guys, yeah, no, you guys are fourth. I think Saskatchewan's second, Buffalo's first, and then Halifax must have been third, and
Yeah, but
Halifax beat
Saskatchewan's
Calgary.
playing in Halifax this weekend.
Oh,
So
okay, okay, right, okay, yeah, right. So it's, I mean, that Saskatchewan team is great. Frank Scigliano on out. They beat you guys pretty handily at home this season. I think prior to you getting Christian, maybe that was right before. I was at every game this season, so um, that's a tough test. And obviously, you guys lost that game in Halifax this year as well. So let's keep going. Though. Let's look at some more stuff because let's keep rolling with some positive stuff here because I mean, looking at top 3 scorers for Vancouver, obviously Adam Cherylin-Beatty's had another great season. Had Adam on in April, fantastic guest. Had a chance to catch up with him in the last game of the season when you guys let fans on the floor. 84 points. Kevin Crowley with 53 points. But one of the things that stuck out for me against Rochester, and I'll pull it up, is the versatility in your guys' scoring as well, right? Because it wasn't just the question of it was Keegan Ball or it was Adam Cherylin-Beatty's. I saw lots of guys chipping in there.
yeah, I did. Did I read a stat? 10 different goal scorers that game or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah, let me just find it here because I had something here on the Rochester game, and it was a little bit more about how Rochester managed to sort of battle back a little bit against you guys. But after being up down 11-4, Rochester cut it to 13-10, and then you guys got the got the 2 empty netters. Let me see if I can find it while we keep chatting, but let's keep moving. Obviously, we talked about Christian Del Bianco, a couple other interesting stats from Graham's site. You guys were 4-14 just 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice turnaround for
Yeah.
sure. I think. I mean, it all starts with the Dax. I don't know if you're too familiar with Dax Aquilini. He kind of took over and helped out the franchise. He's overseeing things, and he was kind of in charge of getting Kurt Malowski on board, and
Right. Yeah, I
and
saw
then
that.
once Kurt came on board, then we were able to recruit some free agents. So it's been a nice turnaround, and obviously having first round draft picks that
Yeah,
are
right. We talked about
able to
that
be in the
before.
lineup. So um,
We
it's
talked about that before.
yeah. So
How
it's
those
been
were
able
all
to
traded away.
turn quick turnaround, right, from the 4-14 to where we are now.
Yeah. Any other sort of final thoughts you want to share before we wrap it up? Because we said about 20 minutes. So what's on your mind? Like, let's just, obviously, how do you approach a semifinal like this? There's lots of other questions, things we could talk about, angles, cliches, right? But I don't think
Yeah.
we really want to do that, do we? Because,
No, it's just
I mean,
excitement, man. Like anytime you're in playoffs, I just love. I mean, as much as it's physically demanding on the body, it is 10 times more mentally demanding, and you've got to love that, right? It feels like it when you're in playoff mode, you're just thinking about the game every single morning, every time you're going to bed, all
yeah,
that. So you've got to enjoy the process. It's fun, it's exciting. You can't be nervous because we always say nerves are good, but you got to make sure you have excitement, not afraid to make a mistake, right? Because when you're nervous, you're not prepared, but when you're prepared, you're pretty excited for the opportunity. So I think
yeah, no
that's how
kidding.
it goes into the playoff games, playoff weeks with that same mindset.
Yeah, and let's wrap it up there, but let's just give everybody the rundown because I was just looking at it too. So it is this Friday, May 2nd, starting at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on TSN. Then Sunday, May 4th at 6 p.m. on TSN. And then game 3, if necessary, is not until May 10th
I
or
haven't
May
even
9th.
checked this schedule, but I know it's the following week, either
Yeah.
Friday or Saturday, I think.
And obviously you guys are in Buffalo because they're the higher seed for games 1 and 3. But
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's gonna be
Okay.
fun.
Yeah. Thanks, Brett. I really appreciate all your support this season and helping me with the podcast. And you've been a great guest. And, best of luck to you guys.